Hey there, Instagram. Hello to our beautiful Facebook group, Beyond the Diet, Hormone Freedom for Women 40 Plus. I'm going live to you guys today without Amanda. Typically, the two of us go live together, and we have an opportunity to talk to you guys about everything hormones for women 40 plus, weight release, energy, brain fog, digestive issues. We bring it all to you because we know that women over 40 are really struggling with a lot of these issues, and we want to make sure that we get down to the root cause of these issues and share with you guys some of the behavior patterns, some of the practical advice, and a lot of the knowledge that we've built up over the last decade and more in helping women overcome some of these root cause issues and to feel better in our lives because our lives are worth it, right? We want to be able to make sustainable change, and it's really hard in our lives to make sustainable change, not just when we have external influences all around us. Maybe it's kids or your job or influences from other people or social media or whatever it is that happens to be influencing you. It's also the thoughts and the feelings on the inside. So while Amanda travels this week, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about my story with the struggle with weight release. And I'm also going to tell you about the struggle with why it was for 20 years I had such a hard time actually creating sustainable habits in the direction that I wanted to go for a longer period of time. And today I sit here in front of you, 10 years scale free, being able to take care of myself, being able to sustain weight release, being able to improve my hormonal health because of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So, no matter where you are on the weight release or hormone balancing journey, action is required to make progress. We know that. We need to do something. We can't just sit here and be idle about it. We actually need to be able to know what to do, which is a part of what Amanda and I share with you is how do I know what to do with my body based on the root causes or the issues that I feel inside of my body. And then also, how do I know what to change in my thoughts? Because my thought patterns are a huge part of what gets me motivated to be able to create change. And the truth is that some of those thought patterns aren't actually a part of our conscious awareness. A lot of those thought patterns actually are in our subconscious, and we don't even know that they're running in the background. And today I'm going to share with you 4 of those self-sabotaging thought patterns that keep you away from being able to be successful with your health goals so that you can move through them. I'll give you tips. I'm going to make some suggestions. I'm going to talk a lot about our Hormone Freedom Foundation's membership, which is a place where you get to explore everything that I've talked to you about today and choose a path on your way to health and well-being to be able to overcome some of these issues that get in the way of us being able to release weight, have more energy, feel good in our bodies, and make sustainable change. And I want to make sure that you guys know exactly how to get that support. So I will be talking a lot about that today. So if you've ever thought to yourself, I know what to do, but I can't seem to stick with it, then this is the live training for you. I have been there a million times before. 10 years ago, for 20 years of my life, I would gain 5 pounds, lose 10 pounds, gain 15, gain 5 more, lose 20. And I just couldn't seem to keep it a steady weight release journey, and then certainly not to be able to sustain it for a long period of time. And I thought that there was something wrong with me. There is no amount of exercise or calorie counting or macro counting or being hard on myself that actually helped me sustain that weight release. I did 10Ks, I went to the gym, I did workout classes, and it's not that those things don't work. They do, and they work for a period of time, but at some point you may find yourself giving up on yourself, or that those things don't work and that you're stuck in the same place that you were whenever you started. And I want that frustration for you to go away. And that's why I'm here to talk to you about it today. And that's why I'm here to talk to you about those 4 sabotaging thoughts that we have so that you can overcome them. And that's why I'm here to tell you more about how you can work with us so that you can overcome them. So without further ado, I want to talk to you about what those 4 self-sabotaging thoughts are, because living your life and being able to sustain healthy habits does require a new way of thinking. And we also think that it requires a new way of being, right? A new way of doing things in the world. And we don't typically think about what are the new ways that I need to think in order to be able to create change. And this live is for women who are on a new weight release journey, who don't know what the heck is happening to their body in perimenopause or as you age. It's for those women who were like me, who were stuck yo-yo dieting for decades of their life, and they don't know what to do next because they haven't been able to find the thing that works once and for all. And then it's also for the women who are on a GLP-1 and they want to make sure that they heal root causes of weight gain, not just drop the weight. Because we need to get in touch with the brain chemistry, the brain things that are going on with us in order to be able to sustain that change and to feel confident and happy and healthy about it. We can't just put band-aids on things and expect to feel better. It feels good when we are on a weight release journey and we reach a goal. I totally get that and I understand that and I've been there, but you're not going to feel completely happy with it unless you are sustaining it using the brain in the way that I'm going to be explaining today. So if today's episode is going to feel a little bit different than the conversations that you may typically have had about weight release or about taking control of your health, and if it does feel different, I want you guys to think about joining us inside of our Hormone Freedom Foundation's community. Because every month, Amanda and I help the women understand not just what to do, but what they've been struggling to do in order to be able to make that change in the first place and to be able to make that change for a sustained period of time. And right now for the month of July, we have a special offer where we're enrolling women at an easy yes investment, less than a personal trainer, less than a visit to a nutritionist, less than a therapy appointment, but with all the benefits that I'm going to share with you today in changing that brain chemistry, as well as all the things that Amanda talks about with healing root cause issues going in the body that are attributing that hormonal imbalance that you're going through. Okay, so I want you to check out the link that we're going to provide in the Zoom. And of course, I'll provide that link in Instagram and in our Facebook group. But the link to join the membership is going to be there for you, as well as an opportunity to connect with me on a call so that we can talk about whether or not it's the right path for you. Okay, so you guys can click on that link to, if you're interested during this live training. If anything resonates, I want you to go ahead and explore that. Now, I want you to comment yes if you're watching live. And even if you're watching on the replay inside of our Facebook group, I want you to comment yes if you've ever started eating healthier, but then suddenly found yourself in the pantry. And you might have even not consciously been there. You look at yourself and you're like, oh my God, why am I here again? I'm not even hungry. I don't know what's going on. I'm back in the pantry and I'm thinking about how did I even get here, right? It's almost like a blackout moment. I want you to say yes if this is true for you. If you promised yourself that you'd exercise tomorrow, but you sleep through the alarm. You don't realize that you did it, but after you do that, you end up being hard on yourself and asking yourself, why did I sleep through my alarm again? Comment yes if you decided that a night for yourself was going to be alcohol free and yet you pour the glass anyway. These things aren't character flaws. It's not that you lack discipline. It's not that you are a bad person or that you can't do it or that your willpower is weak. None of those decisions happen because you suddenly stop caring. I know that because I've been there. I never once stopped caring about my health or caring about releasing weight to be able to ensure that I felt healthy and confident in my body. I never stopped caring about that. And I know every single one of you has not stopped caring about that either. Because I had a client who also, like me, started over every single Monday. And I'm sure that you can relate. She meal prepped. She bought all the healthy groceries. She followed the meal plan. She told herself, this time I'm really going to do it. And yet every Monday she was back on that square one. And despite those best intentions, she would find herself standing in front of the pantry or ordering out DoorDash, not on purpose. She just sort of ended up there. And the question is why? Because if I stood here and I gave you a slap on the wrist every single time you felt like you made a mistake and I said, get it together, you have to do this, it wouldn't really solve what's going on deep down in your subconscious. It would only be a band-aid and me just trying to hold you accountable to do the right thing instead of deep healing on the inside. And that's what we're here to talk about today, is that deep healing that you get to feel when you address these 4 self-sabotaging thoughts. This client, and like me also, and maybe like you, had a deep-seated belief, something deep down in her subconscious that told her that she was terrified of succeeding. Okay, you might think, of course I want to succeed. Why would I be afraid of achieving a goal? Well, deep down in your subconscious, it's possible that you might be asking yourself, if I lost the weight, what if I gained it back? What if everyone noticed and I couldn't keep it off? So her brain chose the safer option, quit before I have the chance to fail. Now, it wasn't easy for us to get to this solution. We used a strategy called the emotional freedom technique, which is a tapping strategy. You can look it up online for yourself and just learn a little bit more about it. But that's one of the ways that Amanda and I help our clients uncover these deep-rooted beliefs that you might not even understand or know on a conscious level are actually there. So I want you to think about how we can solve these patterns by changing the story your nervous system has been protecting you for years. Because if you suddenly believe that I actually can succeed and that it's possible for me to succeed and rewrite what success looks like, instead of this huge end goal that you have to uphold for years and years and years, and instead success looks like the actions you're taking every day, then you're not going to be afraid of it anymore. And so that's the first self-sabotaging thought or pattern or brain pattern that we end up contending with, is that I'm afraid to succeed, that I have to keep doing this forever. And inside the Hormone Freedom Foundation's membership that I've been telling you guys about, we do support our members by reducing that fear at going at a pace that meets you where you are. Sometimes that fear of success comes in because you're moving so fast through it. You're like, I don't know if I can keep it up. Well, you got to meet yourself where you are. We tailor nutrition, lifestyle, and exercise to the root cause issues that we identify for you during our metabolic hormone lab sessions with Amanda, so that you're not going willy-nilly and shooting at a moving target. And then we also hold the space for you in community. That's what we do inside of our groups, so we can share those struggles and you never feel alone. Feeling alone and afraid of success by yourself is a journey where you will 100% of the time give up on yourself. Doing it in community and recognizing other women are feeling the same way helps propel you forward. And that's why we end up having this community. So if any of that sounds familiar to you, if fear of success might be something that's kind of running in the background, I want you to comment success, whether you're here on Instagram, on the Zoom, or you're watching in the replay and Beyond the Diet in our Facebook group, comment success. Let other women know that they're not alone. The next belief, or the next self-sabotaging thought that we end up having, is not just fear of success, but you can also be afraid to fail. This is a little bit more common or a little bit more conscious for a lot of women that we work with. They're afraid of failure, right? You may have done so many diets or lost weight so many times or went down the road with different doctors' opinions or suggestions from friends or Instagram reels or whatever. And you may have failed so many times that you're afraid to fail again. So you're kind of like, why even bother? Everything I'm doing isn't working. The problem with this, and what you guys can shift right now, is to stop celebrating the wrong things. You might be celebrating what is an unknown future. You don't know how much weight you're going to lose. You don't know how much energy you're going to get back. You don't know how much brain fog's going to go away. You don't know how much of your digestive issues are going to go away. That's an unknown. You stay in that hopeful place where everything is going to be solved, and that fear of failure, of not getting there, is perpetuated by you not celebrating the baby steps that you're taking to actually resolve those things. So you've got to stop thinking about the end result, and you have to presence yourself in the moment of the things that you're doing to take care of it, the things that you're eating, the thoughts that you're choosing, the exercise that you're incorporating based on what it is that's going on inside of your body. And again, in Hormone Freedom Foundation's membership, Amanda and I help you identify what it is that's the root cause, so that we can help you overcome the mindset to being able to implement these things and tailor the nutrition and the exercise and the thoughts to you. That way you can overcome it more easily. Otherwise, you keep doing this fear of failure thing where you're afraid that you're not going to be able to do it, mainly because you've actually been going down the wrong road that's been told to you by other people, other things, other doctors, instead of really listening to yourself. So if you want that kind of support, we're going to put that link in the chat for the community. And we're also going to put the link in the chat to book the call with me, so that you can find the right pathway that's going to get you to the place of where you succeed. And if this sounded familiar to you, I want you to comment failure, fear of failure. It is so common, and I want to know which women I'm talking to that are stuck in that mindset of fear of failure, because we are here to help you. We're here to support you. And inside of our Facebook group, Beyond the Diet, Hormone Freedom for Women 40 Plus, we have over 200 women who are in there who want to see who else It has a fear of failure. I am not alone. This is a place where I feel seen. The third place that we sabotage is that our brain thinks that it's keeping us safe. Thinks that it's keeping us safe. Your brain wants the quickest and easiest way to successfully relax, wind down, enjoy life, calm the nervous system, and experience pleasure. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Right? And with all the immediately rewarding behaviors that we have access to, our brain thinks that this short term reward is what we need. And that creates habits that sabotage our goals. I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of these short term pleasurable things that we do in order to be able to get relief, but they don't work for the long term, right? So, nightly wine, comfort foods, scrolling, doom scrolling, staying up too late. These habits aren't random, they're protective. Your brain thinks it's protecting you. So every single time you feel like you're hard on yourself and you're telling yourself, oh, I made that commitment and I can't believe I didn't do it again, be gentle and compassionate with yourself. I did that because my brain wants to feel safe, because I want to feel calm, because I want my nervous system to be relaxed. And that's okay. That desire that you have is totally fine. But the best way to let your body know that it's truly safe is to teach it how to regulate without these things. So I'm sorry to say that those types of behaviors aren't creating true safety. And in order for you to create true safety, you have to start committing to the things for the long term. And when I say long term, I'm not like you have to work on it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. In fact, Amanda and I do a 21-day challenge where you get to practice these things, and that'll be in the fall, and we'll roll that out and let you guys all know when that is. That would be a great time to practice that. But between now and then, if you practice saying no to a nightly wine, if you practice putting your phone off into a different part of the room and listening to a meditation instead, if you practice deep breathing and you practice listening to calm music or setting the lights low before you go to bed, practice those things. Even after one night, you'll notice a difference. Then celebrate that difference, right? Because that's what we talked about in the other sabotage. Celebrate those small wins, the things that you're doing, so that your brain can get on board. So you're not afraid of failure, you're not afraid of succeeding, and you're also not afraid to tell your brain that the long-term habit is what's actually helping you succeed. So comment brain if you think this might be going on for you, because this self-sabotaging thing or habits that we end up doing, they're not a mistake. You're literally trying to keep yourself safe. That's okay. And we need to find a different pathway to safety inside of your body and inside of your brain so that you can be successful in implementing healthy habits for the long term. Okay. The solutions that depend on the person, but what I know for sure is that in community, when we talk about these things, that the challenges that you go through are 100% supported by me, by Amanda, by the women who are going through the same thing. So for those of you that do have the nightly wine, the comfort food, the doom scrolling, the staying up too late, you're not alone. I just shared with you that this is extremely common and something that we go through and we struggle with all of the time, but you don't have to do it alone. Again, that's why Amanda and I have the Hormone Freedom Foundation's community to support you in those habits that are going to help you get the health that you want, the weight release for the long term. So don't forget to check out that link inside the chat for the Hormone Freedom Foundation's community. And if you have questions, you get to book a call with me just to get clarity on whether or not it's right for you. No strings attached, not a problem. I just want to have a conversation with you because the opportunity for you guys to join us at this low founders rate is going to go away after summer. And I want you to sneak in there before that all happens. Okay. The last way that women self-sabotage, and this is typically limited to women, okay, most women go through this, is how we end up protecting everyone else. We want to make sure that everyone else is okay. And what you may have heard a lot of the time is that we tend to put ourselves last. We tend to put ourselves last. But even that puts us in a comfortable position to say that we are deciding to put ourselves first, right? It's kind of a cliche. It's like, oh, put yourself first. It's like, but you know what? Sometimes I can't put myself first. It's not actually a reality. It's okay. But what we can do is that we can recognize that we don't need to protect other people. We forget Other people are capable of being strong and protecting themselves and taking care of themselves, and especially if they're adults, being grown-ups about things, and you get to make whatever decisions you need to make for yourself and your health in isolation from another person. And guess what? It will not negatively impact them. I promise it will not negatively impact them. So if you walk around thinking I can't go for my walk because I don't want to leave my kids, or I don't want to, leave responsibilities with my partner at home. If you think I can't go for a walk because my colleagues are going to judge me and I can't take that much time away from work, if you think that you can't make a healthy choice for yourself, a healthy food choice because you're afraid that somebody's going to judge you, or you don't have wine and you're not going to, blah, all of that stuff is sabotaging your progress. It's literally sabotaging your progress because you think that you need to protect other people from their own experience. And that is a problem. So stop thinking about it as putting yourself first and think about it as, how can I empower myself so the person and the people around me also feel empowered? And I'll tell you what, this morning I ended up doing a run for myself with my dogs, and I left a note for my daughter and I said, go ahead and get breakfast on your own and I'll be home in 20 minutes. And nothing bad happened. And over the last 5 years, I've been working out and exercising, and my kids have been watching. And the most amazing thing has happened where they actually really like working out with me, and they appreciate physical fitness, and they think it's really fun, and they want to join me. And my daughter wants to go walking all the time, and the other one wants to do a 5K with me. Taking care of myself has positively influenced them, right? I have stopped drinking over the last couple of years. Other people are like, wow, I'm so inspired. I'm not going to drink either. Be the beacon, right? Don't try to think that you're protecting other people from their habits. They actually need you to be a beacon of health so that they can also be a beacon of health for others. We can influence each other instead of holding each other back. So comment protect if you feel like you're in this brain space, that you feel like you put other people in front of you and you feel like you need to protect them. And so you end up not taking action for yourself. So super common. So super common. Amanda and I know how important this is for you guys to think about not protecting other people, but empowering yourself. And so we want to make this program, our foundations community, as accessible as possible for every single woman that needs it. Like I said, the investment in this is less than a personal trainer and a gym membership. It's less than signing up with a nutritionist. It's less than your co-pays combined that you pay in order to care for yourself, and it addresses root causes of hormone imbalances, weight gain, lack of motivation, and lack of physical activity. We take everything and we throw it in there so that you can get the most comprehensive experience possible with two people who have been there, who want to mentor you, who have a diverse amount of information that we want to offer you so that you can make foundational changes in your health and do it for the long term with other women who also want the same thing. So don't forget to take a look at the link for the Hormone Foundations community and book that clarity call with me if you want to talk about what it is that you might be interested in following. Okay. So if out of any of this you've been listening and thinking, Helen, you're describing me and the thought patterns that might be standing in my way, I want to personally invite you into that Hormone Freedom Foundation's membership or onto a call with me, because you deserve something more than another diet. You deserve more than a meal plan. You deserve to become the woman who naturally takes care of herself without standing in her own way anymore. And if you've been spending years trying to do this alone, maybe, just maybe, it's time for you to stop doing it alone and to get the support that we are here to offer you. It has been my absolute pleasure to be here with you today to share with you all of this information. I hope that you have found something that's really helpful to you. I hope that there's some changes that you feel like you can make in the way that you're thinking about yourself and the way that you're thinking about your health and the way that you can take care of yourself. I love being here with you guys. I can't wait to welcome Amanda back so that we can come together and share more with you guys about how you can find that hormone freedom in your body, because it's so important that we all take care of ourselves and take care of each other. And I wish you a most magical day and rest of your week.